I have designed hundreds of kitchens. I'm Alicia, your luxury kitchen designer, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things that are ruining your kitchen. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is something that you'll find in a lot of homes, usually rental properties or kitchens that maybe you've inherited as you've purchased a house, and that is an Overmount stainless steel sink, and extra points if it has a drainer as well. So a stainless steel Overmount sink basically means that it goes over the top and the material that it's made out of is stainless steel. I don't have an issue with stainless steel sinks, to be honest. Most of the sinks that I sell are actually stainless steel, but they are actually undermount, which means that they go underneath the worktop. When they go over, it just means you have extra areas around the sink for dirt to get trapped, and it's kind of right on top of the worktop. So it's something that's more in your direct line of sight. They are a cheaper option, so I do understand why there is a need for them. But if this is a kitchen that you're hoping to make look nice and you're going to be living in it for a long period of time, there are some really great undermount stainless steel sinks for a very similar price. They don't cost too much extra, so I would definitely just spend a little bit extra to purchase an undermount sink as opposed to one that goes over your worktop, and definitely not one with a drainer, because that just increases the amount of stainless steel that's in your line of sight, especially because you usually find these sinks in smaller kitchens, so that means this stainless steel is covering up your really nice worktop that you've probably purchased, and I just think it's a real shame. The next point again is to do with stainless steel, and that is to have an exposed kind of chimney shaped extractor. These are not my favorite extractors. They are actually my least favorite extractors, and again, bonus points if they are on your kitchen above your kitchen island, because that just really does create an eyesore in the room. My preferred type of extractor is to either hide it behind a cupboard door or have it built into your worktop, or have it in the ceiling so it is flush with your ceiling. That does require a little bit more planning, and it's not possible with all ceiling voids, but I would say having your extractor built into your cooktop is my preference out of all the different types of extractors, depending on your kitchen design, of course. Some kitchens do lend themselves better to having a built-in extractor. Again, if you have a smaller kitchen, I definitely think a more minimal style of kitchen, the less is more approach makes your kitchen look a lot tidier, a lot less cluttered. So having the exposed stainless steel chimney extractor above your hob really does cheapen the look of your kitchen. They are, again, a cheaper option, which is why they are in most kind of rental properties or new builds even. So if you're purchasing a new kitchen, please do just spend that little bit extra and house your extractor inside a kitchen unit, or opt for a vented hob. This next point is not something that I've heard many people, anyone really talk about online before, but it's something that I always look into as soon as I get my clients' architect's drawings, because this is something that is not always taken into consideration by your architect or your builder, but it is very important for your kitchen design. And that is when you have an open plan living area and a kitchen that is adjacent to your bifolds or even just garden doors, you want to make sure that those garden doors are starting no less than 650 mil from the wall. And that is because you want to be able to have a deep kitchen worktop on that wall. You want to be able to have a service void at the back if necessary. And it also just gives you more options in terms of the design of your kitchen. Usually when I see floor plans, the bifolds are starting 600 from that back wall, which only gives you 600 depth for the unit. That is one of my pet peeves, when you see a kitchen and it looks amazing, but the functionality is not there. So if you were to have a 600 depth worktop and you put a really big pot on your back burner, that pot is going to be hitting the wall. It just means you're not going to get the most out of your kitchen, and you're probably going to have to cram your pots onto your hob if you're using multiple burners all at the same time. Also, if you don't have a lot of worktop space, increasing the depth of your worktop can really add to the kitchen design and the functionality. It makes the worktop not feel so cramped. It means you can have extra space to kind of prep. So definitely make sure that your bifolds are not starting too close to the wall, because then you are very limited on the depth of your worktop. Okay, the next point is something that you can even change today in your kitchen if once I mention it you realize this is something that you have, and that is cool lighting in your kitchen. So if you have spotlights or a lighting feature in your kitchen that has cool light bulbs, please just change them to either a neutral or a warmer tone. Warmer tone bulbs are my preference. I think it makes the room feel a lot more warm and inviting, but some people don't like to have too orange of a light, which I completely understand. But if you have a cool light, it makes the room feel a lot more clinical. It makes the room feel cold. It also does affect the color of your kitchen cabinets. So if you saw your kitchen cabinets in the showroom when you first purchased the kitchen, and now it doesn't look the same in your kitchen, it could be due to the temperature of your light bulbs. So if you were to just switch to neutral or warm bulbs, it would make a huge difference to your space and make the room feel a lot more inviting. And finally, the last one is something I know a lot of people are guilty of, and this is more common with kitchens that were designed, I'd say maybe over 5 or 10 years ago, because the blocking in to the ceiling of units was not as common as it is now, which means a lot of you may have kitchen units that don't go all the way to the ceiling. So you do actually have a gap from the top of your units to the ceiling. And what do you end up doing with that space? Well, you end up filling it with clutter or things that you need to store long term. But what it actually is doing is making your kitchen look messy and cluttered, and you're probably not even using the things that you have up there just because it takes so long to get them down and they're covered in dust. So honestly, just throw them away or find a place for them, but they do not belong above your kitchen units. So if you're like me and when you're cooking, you like to cook in peace, then having a space that feels more inviting, so with the warm lighting, with the no clutter above your units, and cleaning up all that dust that's probably gathered up there, it will make a difference. It'll actually help you enjoy the cooking experience a little bit more. So those two are things you can change today. The first 3 points that I mentioned in this video are more things to consider when designing your kitchen, and then the last 2 points that I mentioned in this video, they may seem small, but I know they'll make a big difference, and the fact that these are things that you can change today to make your kitchen look better makes me really happy. I mean, if you do them, of course, but I hope you do, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.